All right, guys. I left a little early today. As I said, my mom's in town. I don't get to see her that often, so I left early. But I did catch a couple nice trades this morning, and I'll go over a couple of those real quick. KORE. It looks like an ugly day, right? Who went long? Who went long on this? Probably in trouble. Well, not if you're a day trader. Uh, Nicholas in chat just gave the opening range, one of our sellers fail scenarios, right? There's the gap up. Sellers come in. If it takes out that high, a lot of times this is a 5-minute candle. These sellers fail. They get in trouble and have to cover, right? And I got long literally as it came back up through 780 right there. And we got that halt. And I sold a big chunk, over 920 actually, with a 780. I don't remember. My first sell was right before the halt. So anyway, just absolutely made my day right there. Also, a great call by Nicholas. From the morning gap playlist. And I also called ANY just opening range breakout. This vertical line here shows you where the open was. Topped out at 807, and as it came back up, I called an opening range breakout, which means 808 right there. And went all the way to almost 870 before rolling over. So a couple neat trades for me this morning. Had a nice day in a compact trading day for me. And I got to keep it short and sweet because I got things to do. So Jasper, JSPR. Got to talk about SPY real quick. SPY did gap up and had a pretty damn strong close. So interesting. All right, let's go to the watches. JSPR had the big rip yesterday. Kind of a quiet inside day today, looking for a third day play. Same with, well, not the same. GWH had the big rip and now 2 days lower on declining volume. I do like that setup as a potential bounce play. Remember, only with an A+ intraday setup that we teach in our course, and we go over in our chat room quite a bit too. KOSS had the big rip, then the gap up, then the sell up, then the gap down, but closed near its highs. Today, I'm not in love with it, but the meme stocks did get going today, and this one actually had decent news the other day, so we'll keep our eyes on it. I'm going to put it on Bounce Watch. VYG Argo's back on Bounce Watch. Had this big rip. Now we're, 4 days in a row on really dissipating volume there, so a pretty good setup. Kind of came down to the 8-day today. Pretty good setup for a bounce tomorrow. We'll see. I want to end through CEI, which is not a pretty chart, but it's definitely a recent high flyer and then fell off a cliff, had a decent little bounce and is rolling back over. But you guys know I like, as a bounce play, I like an afternoon break out of a range. And let me pan out a little bit more, showing you 15-minute candles here. So since this day, which was October 7th, that's when you had the gap up. It never broke its early high. Same thing next to see these vertical lines are the open. I already talked about that. The next day, never broke its early high. The next day, put in its high in the opening 30 minutes. So never broke its early high. The next day and today. So you don't have that afternoon high of day break that I look for. I think if you get that in CEI, you might get a little mini squeeze. And as a day trader, I can make some pretty good money if that happens. Just being there at the right time. PED, recent high flyer, came back down to that buy zone we look for. So that one goes on Bounce Watch. I think I saw that oil is pretty strong too. So that one is interesting. Fuel Cell, FCEL. Was on the gap playlist, I think, today. And anyway, it gapped up but sold off, but a fairly strong close. It basically closed almost the same price the last 2 days in a row. I forgot to look at Plug and see what it did. Oh, Plug had a kind of a bearish engulfing, so who knows. But anyway, Fuel Cell is pretty strong. I'm going to keep that on long watch, only with a proper setup. OCGN, 3 green days in a row. I generally don't put something on long watch that's had 3 green days in a row, although yesterday it was a green day, but it was an inside day. So then today, I don't know, I still feel like I'm chasing, but at the same time I'm not, because I'm not just going to take some random entry in it. But it's very strong lately and has a good chance, if we get a good setup, to make us some money. BWEN, I believe, is a wind power play and had big volume today and a pretty strong close. I'm going to look for a follow-through day on that one tomorrow. AREC stays on my list. I still like the chart. You had the pop, lower high, and it's coiling. So I still like the looks of this chart. And then lastly, LMFA, which is one ugly daily. And why is it on the list? Because right now in after hours, it's trading at 545. I don't even know what the news was, but it's trading right about here. It was actually over 7. And I couldn't find news, but I'm assuming maybe there's some out there. If it was just some Discord pump after hours, then I probably won't be gapping in the morning anyway. But anyway, I want to keep an eye on that one for a potential gap play. We'll also look for other gappers in the pre-market. Tomorrow's Friday. We'll be careful and let's work together. Keep the clutter down in chat, and as we always do, just try to focus on the A+ setups. I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.